Hey guys, Julian here from synthwavepro.com. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. So in this tutorial, we'll look at typical synthwave bassline patterns. Be sure to subscribe to the channel so you can later reference this tutorial. Also, if you wish to support the channel, please check out some of the links in the description. And if you're digging this t-shirt, you can grab one at synthwavepro.shop along with other merch.
Now, without further ado, let's get started.
Alright, so thanks for joining me. So in this tutorial, we're going to take a close look at some of the typical bassline patterns that we hear in a lot of synthwave music. Alright, so this is a very straightforward tutorial. Try to keep this nice and short. This is the excerpt. I'll play out the drums and then we'll tackle the bass sequences. Alright, simple drum beat. Cool. So the first pattern you typically hear, that would be your eighth notes here. Pretty straightforward. Most of the chord changes occur on the one, like bar 1, bar 3, and bar 4. Let's take a look at the second one here. That would be this guy here. So that would be straight anticipation. Let's play what this sounds like. All right, so the only difference with this version here is that we are anticipating that chord change by playing the bass note, the root of that chord, just an eighth note before it actually hits. Right? Instead of all right, so this gives it a little bit of movement, a little more drive. Let's take a look at the other sequences here. All right, so our next bassline pattern, we have simple octaves. We're playing eighth notes and it sounds like this. All right, pretty straightforward. This is also a nice way of adding a little bit of movement, a little bit of drive to our track. All right, let's take a look at another version here. That would be this guy over here. So here we have a combination of eighth notes as well as 16th notes. Let's play it and we can dive in a little deeper. All right, so another straightforward bassline pattern here, and we're using octaves, but we're actually hitting this target note here, the root of the chord, with the note below. I had done a tutorial on this. I'll make sure to link it in the card if you want to know a little more about improvisation, which is somewhat what we're doing here. We're sort of improvising when it comes to coming up with bass sequences. So this is something I really like doing, is targeting the note with the note below. All right, so we have the D, E, and we have the G, A for the A chord, and the B, C for the C chord. Cool, let's move on to our final example here. That would be this guy. And we have pretty much straight 16th notes. This is what this sounds like. Again, taking our previous pattern, but we're just doubling up on the 16th notes on the bottom octave note here. Before closing this out, I'm just going to play each and every single one of these sequences one after the other, and we can see what it does to the overall groove and sound. This is the anticipation one. Bass octaves. Eighth notes and 16th notes. Almost feels as if we're adding more instruments, but it's just the typical, 8th, 16th, and then finally 16th notes. Easy peasy. If you're new to the channel, thank you so much for hanging out, and consider subscribing and liking the video. And if you've been here since the very beginning, I really appreciate your continued support. And that being said, stay safe, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.